because Joe Biden publicly mused and allowed the New York Times to report it, calling on Merrick Garland, why will he not prosecute Trump more quickly? I would note I don't think there's an institution in America who has lost more respect from the American people than the FBI has in the last 4 years.
Today on Capitol Hill, the Senate Judiciary Committee conducted a high-stakes hearing for the nomination of the next Attorney General of the United States. A pivotal discussion unfolded as senators questioned the nominee on issues of integrity, fairness, and the politicization of the Department of Justice under past administrations. Senator Ted Cruz opened his remarks by thanking the nominee for their years of public service and emphasizing the critical role of the Attorney General in upholding justice. Cruz expressed concern over what he described as a politicized Department of Justice in recent years, alleging instances of targeted investigations against political opponents. I don't want a Republican Department of Justice nor a Democratic Department of Justice. I want a Department of Justice that simply follows the law. The American people deserve nothing less.
I think perhaps the most tragic legacy of the Biden-Harris administration has been the politicization and the weaponization of the United States Department of Justice. And we don't need to ask hypothetically because Joe Biden publicly mused and allowed the New York Times to report it, calling on Merrick Garland, why will he not prosecute Trump more quickly? I don't want a Republican Department of Justice. I don't want a Democrat Department of Justice. I want a Department of Justice that follows the damn law.
The nominee, who served as Florida's Attorney General for 8 years, defended her extensive legal experience. She stated she had handled thousands of criminal cases throughout their career, including hundreds before juries and hundreds more before judges. I have spent years in courtrooms, trying cases and ensuring justice is served. As Florida's Attorney General, I supervised roughly 400 attorneys across the state.
Handled thousands.
How many of those were before a jury?
Hundreds. I don't want to overstate, but hundreds. I was in a courtroom for many years. I tried 4 when I was an intern, jury trials. I think you had to try at least 20 in misdemeanor before you went to felony. Then you were in court every day, and I was also lead trial attorney for many years trying many cases. So.
And how many of those cases would have been before a judge?
Oh, hundreds and hundreds as well, but hundreds before a jury, I would assume.
And as Attorney General of Florida, how many lawyers did you supervise roughly?
Approximately 400, Senator.
A point of contention arose when Senator Ted Cruz referred to the nominee as President Trump's personal lawyer. However, the nominee clarified her role during Trump's first impeachment trial, explaining they worked as a government official within the Office of White House Counsel, not as Trump's personal legal representative. When working for the Office of White House Counsel, I represented the government, not Donald Trump personally or in his private matters.
Working within the White House counsel's office different than representing Donald J. Trump individually as his personal lawyer?
Absolutely.
How's it different?
You're working for the government. You're working for the Office of White House Counsel. You're not representing him in his personal capacity.
And so you have not represented him in his business affairs, in his personal life, or in any of the criminal trials he has faced?
No, Senator.
Senator Cruz also addressed the historical implications of recent prosecutions, referencing the multiple indictments against former President Donald Trump. He accused partisan prosecutors of attempting to undermine Trump's re-election bid and questioned the Department of Justice's impartiality. No president in over 2 centuries had been indicted or prosecuted until now. This administration has set a troubling precedent.
When it comes to weaponization, it's worth noting that in more than 2 centuries of our nation's history, no president had previously been indicted, no president had previously been prosecuted, until the Biden-Harris White House came along. And in the last 4 years, we've seen Donald Trump indicted and prosecuted not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 separate times.
And 2 assassination attempts, Senator.
I have to say, Javert from Les Mis would be chagrined.
As the hearing concluded, the nominee pledged to uphold the Constitution, enforce the law without bias, and restore trust in the Department of Justice. The nominee emphasized their commitment to ensuring the rule of law is applied equally to all Americans, regardless of political affiliation. I pledge to follow the law, the Constitution, and to ensure fairness in every decision made by the Department of Justice.
As Attorney General, to follow the law, to follow the Constitution, to uphold the rule of law without favor and without regard to the partisan position of any criminal defendant.
Yes, Senator.
That's what we should all expect from an Attorney General.
The hearing has drawn national attention as the Senate deliberates on the nominee's confirmation. With the stakes so high, the discussion highlights the ongoing debate over the role of politics in law enforcement. Stay tuned for further updates as the story develops.